Hey guys, thanks for joining us for the May Trucking Newsletter. Before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and bell icon for instant updates on all our new videos. This month, we've got a lot of important topics, including another CVSA Safe Driver Week, how you can get money for CDL training, Trump's auto tariffs and English proficiency rule, changes to DOT MedCard reporting, and how big layoffs are affecting OSHA. All articles and video links are in the description, as well as a link to a form if you have any questions for us. All right, let's jump in. As you probably already know, speeding increases the chances of accidents, as well as the severity of injuries and damages. What does that mean for fleets and drivers? Well, what you should be doing is reviewing policies, training drivers, and reinforcing the why behind driving the speed limit. Of course, the most important thing is preventing injuries and saving lives, but violations and accidents also cost companies thousands of dollars and, depending on the circumstances, can even lead to a complete shutdown. With that said, the CVSA is holding its annual Operation Safe Driver Week from July 13th to 19th this year, where law enforcement agencies across the U.S. are stepping up traffic enforcement and driver education to promote safer driving behaviors. Of course, this goes for commercial truck drivers, but also applies to passenger vehicles, and the CVSA is focusing on speeding this year. Now, that's not to say that they won't get you for other things like distracted driving or not wearing a seatbelt, which are high on the list for violations. So just make sure you are doing everything as you should and you'll be fine. Check out the full article in the description for 5 tips on always staying prepared. Lately, you've probably heard us talk a lot about military veterans and starting a trucking career, and that's because here at CNS we are grateful for our veterans, and we really believe that it's a perfect transition for a lot of vets out there. Not only do we believe that, but so does the government, which is why they're continuously improving on GI Bill CDL training benefits. The most recent proposed changes could provide an extra 12 months of CDL training benefits, which will make it easier for veterans to transition into civilian jobs. With financial support, covering tuition and related expenses, veterans can focus on gaining the skills and certifications they need to start a career in trucking. With a hope of driving more people into trucking careers and filling the gap and the growing demand for drivers, these changes not only enhance opportunities for veterans, but also create opportunities for eligible dependents. Trucking can be a fulfilling and lucrative career. Don't take my word for it. Listen to what Matthew Binko has to say on one of our recent Caution Wide Right podcasts, where he goes into detail on this entire process. You can listen or watch the full talk by clicking the link in the description. So, if you've thought about getting your CDL and becoming a truck driver, you've probably done a Google search for, how do I get a CDL for free? Don't deny it, you know you have. Well, of course, there's no school that is just going to put you through their program for free, but there are grants, scholarships, veteran benefits, and company-paid training, and now there's the Truck Driver Incentives Act, which is aimed at addressing the truck driver shortage through financial relief. The proposal offers the possibility for new CDL holders to receive up to $10,000 in tax credit, and for current drivers to receive up to $7,500. All you really have to do is enroll in a registered apprenticeship program, log the proper number of driving hours for the year, which is 1,420 hours for new drivers and 1,900 for existing drivers, then just file your taxes. Pretty easy, right? Oh yeah, and maybe just skip using TurboTax this time around and get a professional. We want to make sure your taxes are done correctly and you get the credit. And one other thing, don't wait too long. If approved, the tax credit will be limited to 2025 and 2026, so jump on it now. If you have questions, just call, email, or fill out the form in the description, and we would be happy to help. As a quick mention, President Trump has signed an executive order enforcing stricter English proficiency requirements for commercial truck drivers to enhance roadway safety, which will lead to the immediate removal of drivers who fail to meet these standards. Although this is not by any means a new rule, it is being looked at more seriously now. Check out the full article and the In the Loop with Loop-de-Loop video above or in the description below. Not to beat a dead horse with the Trump talk, but hey, let's talk tariffs. Everyone knows about the tariffs that are throwing everyone and even the economy for a loop. But the auto tariffs, more specifically, may start impacting used cars. As tariffs drive up the cost of new vehicles, demand for used cars is expected to rise, which will maintain their value in the short term. The problem is that Trump's economic strategies could lead to an increased supply of used cars and that can potentially cause their value to decline over time. So if you're selling a used car, you may want to consider pulling the trigger now. Waiting could leave you stuck with a used car until prices go back up, or you'll end up selling it for less money than you want. A few things you should do now are check the current market value of your car, repair anything that needs repairing to increase the value and buyer appeal, prepare all your paperwork to streamline the sale, and sell now. If you have any questions, you can always get in touch with us by phone, email, or the contact form in the description. Okay, let's talk about the changes to the DOT medical certification reporting. On June 23, 2025, the FMCSA's Medical Examiner Certification Integration Rule is going into effect and will lead to some changes in the current process. First of all, certified medical examiners will be required to electronically transmit DOT results directly to the FMCSA, and those are then sent to the state's DMVs to integrate into CDL records. The main change for carriers and CDL drivers is that carriers won't need to request medical certificates and drivers won't need to submit them. Instead, carriers will be able to verify medical certs through the driver's MBR. As far as the state's agencies go, they will have to update the commercial driver's license information system and the driver's MBR to reflect their medical status. And of course, downgrade their CDL within 60 days if their medical certification lapses. Honestly, this new process should streamline reporting, increase security, and reduce paperwork for drivers and carriers, so it's a win all the way around. There are big changes happening in the workplace safety and public health communities, and not the good kind. With the announcement of massive layoffs, around 10,000 jobs cut from the Department of Health and Human Services and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, negative impacts on workplace safety, regulatory enforcement, and employer responsibilities are expected. Reports are even saying that over 90% of the NIOSH workforce will be laid off. This is important because the research is the main driver behind OSHA regulations and safety standards and is directly related to hazards faced by firefighters, miners, healthcare workers, truck drivers, and manufacturing employees. Eliminating these research programs could lead to weakened safety standards, reduced enforcement, and limited resources for employers. In turn, employees may be put at a higher risk for injuries, which puts employers at an increased risk for liability. In addition, employers will have uncertainty around regulations and potential hazards, which is going to affect their safety programs and may even require them to start their own safety research and audits. If you have any questions about these changes or how you can get ahead of them with a customizable safety program, give us a call, email, or fill out the form in the description. Don't forget about the PMTA Truck Driving Championships coming up on June 13th and 14th in the Poconos. By the time you see this, the registration will probably be closed, but anyone can attend, and if you can't make it, our Caution Wide Right podcast host Luke Kibbe will be on site, and we'll be live streaming the entire event on our YouTube channel and the PMTA Facebook page. That's all for this month. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and YouTube channel for regular updates, and if you have questions, reach out directly using the form below. See y'all next month.